Judiciary has been recognized as consistently being pointed to low budget as constraints in the performance of their duties. Sinasabi, hindi magawa ng hudikatura ang kanilang trabaho dahil walang pera, maliit ang budget. But sa research po na amin, some data will show that the judiciary's budget has in fact doubled since 2004. I can give you more exact figures on that. But as part of my question, despite this, clearance rates in the judiciary have actually declined. For example, sir, Your Honor, the number of cases decided by the courts in 2010 was only 60% of what were decided in 1999, with even fewer judges. And clearance rates dropped from 43.5% in 1999 to 37.8% in 2010. And the backlog grew from 56% of cases in 1999 to 63% in 2010. Again, I'd like to pursue this by saying that the outputs of lower court judges decreased from an average of 334 cases in 2004 to 207 in 2009. Your Honor, what do you think are the underlying causes of this increasing inefficiency? What measures will you put in place over the immediate term to solve this? And if I may even ask, what long-term solutions can you plan ahead?
This is the first time that I have read this kind of report, and it surprises me really. But let me tell you offhand that what we are speaking of here would be the performance of human resources, because our judges and justices and officials are our human resources. I would first look for problems in our human resources. What can be the problem? My answer right now is I do not know what the problems are. Perhaps it can be that the resources, financial resources available to the judiciary are not trickling down to the lower courts. That I have to find out, but that is a possibility. Perhaps there is demoralization at our lower ranks. I don't know, but this is something I can address immediately. Aside from our human resources, we have to look at our facilities and equipment. But again, this is a function of the budget. I understand that our lower courts right now are still deficient in halls of justice, in equipment, and this is from the reports we're getting from the World Bank. And that was not the report I was getting from the World Bank. But let me just tell you that the first step in any solution of a problem is to find out what the problem is. So if you were to give that report to me and ask me to work on it, to apply remedial measures, my first step is to verify. Are these correct reports? If these are correct reports, where are these deficiencies coming? That would be what I would call the identification of the problem. With the problem identified, then we can go into the first step, or short-term solutions, the second step, or mid-term solutions, and the long-term solutions. Unfortunately, I cannot give you any of these solutions right now, except in a very, very general way. because I really don't know the extent of the problem that you outlined to me. But in terms of long-term solutions, well, legislation is one, increase the number of our courts. Number two, on the immediate solutions, if it's a problem of the human spirit, if our judges are demoralized, then as Chief Justice, I am willing to go out there and talk to them. I can have motivational speakers with me, like Francis Kong. We identify the problem, we address the problem. Our judges are periodically going to Tagaytay for their seminars. Ay ano ba namang yung Chief Justice, every now and then, puntahan. Bawat batch ng judges, puntahan doon at kausapin. Ano bang problema? Ginagawa ko yan nung ako'y na Secretary of Labor, na kahit saan ako pumuntang bansa, I make it a point to have meetings with my people. Hindi social meetings, but business meetings with my people. Ano ba ang problema natin? E nakikita ko, it uplifts their moral na sila ay iniintindi ng pinakamataas sa kanilang organisasyon. Kung hindi naman bumababa ang budget ng kung hindi bumababa ang budget ng judiciary sa ating lower courts, that's another problem. But it is an administrative problem that we can remedy. So matotal, Your Honor, may remedyo.
Thank you po. If I may, just one more question, Mr. Chairman. You have stated, Your Honor, that you are a judicial pragmatist rather than a judicial activist. Can you explain to us what this means and which decision which you wrote do you think is the best example of this and why?
A judicial activist is one who stretches the limits of the law in applying his actions in his decisions. Yung pong ginawa ni Chief Justice Puno na writ of amparo, writ of kalikasan, writ of habeas data. These are samples of judicial activism. This is something that can be done through legislation, perhaps, through another way. But the Chief Justice was very imaginative, and he used procedures, and procedures are within the competence of the Supreme Court. So, he was being a judicial activist when he did that. When I say I am a judicial pragmatist, hindi po ako conservative, hindi rin po naman ako activist. But I remedy the situation as I see them. I have solutions within the confines of what is possible based on what is needed. Ang isa ko pong desisyon na bordering on activism, pero I would still call it judicial pragmatism, yung pong desisyon ko sa Tagitis versus Rason. It's a writ of amparo decision where I said that after considering the totality of the evidence adduced, one evidence, hearsay evidence, should be admitted despite the prohibition in our rules of evidence against hearsay evidence. And my reasoning was that kung totoo naman, kung sa kabuuan ng mga ebidensya, ang itinuturo ay tama yung sinasabi nitong witness na ito, ay siguro ay pwede nating i-admit. Ang naging problema po doon, yung isang koronel na nagbigay ng testimonya, hindi testimonya, nagbigay ng statement sa asawa nung nawala, ay naambus ng Abu Sayyaf, namatay na. And sabi ko, admissible yan. Kahit nung bago mamatay. So this is perhaps an example of my approach, my judicial thinking in solving problems.
Again, thank you very much, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, Justice Art. Believe na ako sa'yo, pinagbilib mo pa ako eh. Meron akong few questions, Justice Art. You were talking about your health. How is your health?